All right, on tonight's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our artificial intelligence course, and we're still doing our natural language module. Let's have a look at what we went over tonight. Now, last night, if you recall, we went over different aspects of interpreting our encoder, our hidden states, and our decoder. And tonight, we're going to pick up where we left off. So, to make matters more complicated, depending on which word of the output sequence we're generating, different input words might be more or less important. And so, what we really want is some way to decide for ourselves which of the input values are worth paying attention to at what point in time. And this is the key idea behind a mechanism known as attention. Attention is all about letting us decide which values are important to pay attention to when generating, in this context, or in this case, the next word in our sequence. So let's take a look at an example of that. Here's a sentence. What is the capital of Massachusetts? Same sentence as before. You can see that here. What is the capital of Massachusetts? And let's imagine that we're trying to answer that question by generating tokens of output. So what will so what would that output look like? Well, it's going to look something like this. The capital is, and let's say we're now trying to generate the last sentence. So it'll look like this. The capital is blank for now because we're trying to generate the last sentence. What is the last word? How is the computer going to figure it out? But what it's going to need to do is decide which values it's going to pay attention to. And so the attention mechanism will allow us to calculate some attention scores for each word. Some value correspond to each word, determining how relevant is it for us to pay attention to that word right now. And you can see we have some example scores for each word in our sentence so far. What is the capital of Massachusetts? What has four? Is has two? The has one? So on and so forth. It looks like capital of Massachusetts has the most attention so far. And in this case, we're generating the fourth word of the output sequence. The most important words to pay attention to might be capital in Massachusetts, for example. Those words are going to be particularly relevant. And there are a number of different mechanisms that have been used in order to calculate these attention scores. It could be something as simple as a dot product to see how similar two vectors are, or we can train an entire neural network to calculate these attention scores. But the key idea is that during the training process for our neural network, we're going to learn how to calculate these attention scores. Our model is going to learn what is important to pay attention to in order to decide what the next word should be. So the result of all this, calculating the attention scores, is that we can calculate some value for each input word, determining how important it is for us to pay attention to that particular value. So you can see here, based on all of those attention points that we gave to our sentence, these are the scores that they have, or the values. We have 0.04 for what, 0.02 for is, 0.01 for the, 0.28 for capital, 0.03 for of, and 0.54 for Massachusetts. Now that's what I'm going to leave it for tonight. We did dive a little bit deeper, and we went a little deeper with the explanation and how we ended things, but I'm not going to dive too deep into it. Like I said, it's been a long day, and I'm still, kind of glad that I got everything situated with the TensorFlow earlier. So yeah, I'm not going to do too much reading. That was just something light for the night, but we will pick it up tomorrow, and I will keep you posted every step of the way as usual. But for now, this is the Python Poppy. You guys stay Gucci.